Well, hello there. Hello. We're back with another quick episode today. Today we're just gonna be fapping about, chopping some trees and clearing space for our new, not our new base, but our a mini base that we are in progress of doing right now. Simply because we need the Squidward inks, and I felt, well, we shouldn't just leave it like that. We should actually do something nice and good on behalf of it. And then we'll just go from there. Make it a little bit pretty and add it into the lore. Just chuck it in. Easy. Easy. So, that's what we're going to be doing today. In the background here, I'm going to be chopping down some trees. We're going to be cutting the vines. We're going to be cutting all of the bushes out and possibly lighting things on fire because it is honestly a hell of a lot easier than using shears on everything and trying to gas it, or to what's the word? To get rid of everything in a timely manner, I guess. There's a word, but I can't think of what it is at this moment. So we might do some flaming. I think that would be pretty nice here. Get ourselves what we need, cut down the trees that we can, and then not worry about, like, the big trees that have many things. So in the last one, we did go ahead and drain most of this water here. That is pretty cool. I'm guessing like 50, 47, yeah. So it's not producing a whole lot, and that's mainly because we are not up in the sky. This is here for a little time and not a long time kind of thing. We'll add as we need to it, but, you know, it should not be that difficult. And if worse comes to worse, we can just add a bigger selection right over here and try to get that going. So today I will tell you I'm in a little bit of a funk. And this kind of happens to me whenever I go on vacation. I kind of get in my head a little bit and get just a little bit weird, I guess, is the best way to put it. Because I started thinking about, well, is this the right thing to do? Like, am I just, what am I doing with my life kind of thing? And as a result, it's very hard to just think about things. And I let them easily overtake me, and then basically, for lack of a better term, I've gone swimming. I am jumped into the deep end. I am just coursing through my brain at light speed and trying to figure things out as rapidly as I possibly can. Well, the depression at the other end fights me tooth and nail and just makes things very difficult to see what the correct answer for those things are. Now, I say this because I want to not only be a source of entertainment at times here, but also to just vent as I need to. That's really what this channel is for me. If you didn't know that, well, you know now. I kind of just talk about things as they happen. I talk about my life in general, and I just try to vent a little bit to the outside world, even though I really will not open up to most people anyway. I figure a bunch of people that I don't know is a lot easier than people that I do know. So that's kind of the idea behind it, even if it makes little to no sense. That is the overarching idea behind it. And I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it works in my favor, but it is something that tends to help just a little bit. Helps me to vocalize things, to voice them in a way that I can kind of listen back and understand what is happening, why I'm feeling the way I am, why I don't understand the feelings that are coming with it, and also just helps you deal with it little by little by forcing your brain to actually think about it. So I think it is a very positive way of dealing with things. And if it so happens that anyone is feeling the same as me, then, well, misery loves company, right? So anyone that is feeling the same most likely will be able to gain something from it as well. And that is a very nice feeling, I think, personally. Personally, I think it's a very, very nice feeling. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. I just have been feeling lost. I'm not going to call this a midlife crisis because I am still young, but I am feeling the effects, I will say, of just life in general. And even though I'm good at something that I do, it's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And so I've been forcing myself to write more and more and more lately, just to try to ease that tension, ease that pain that I've got going on inside of my heart. And in doing so, I've actually started working on a book. Well, not started. I've continued on a book that I've been working on for a long time. And it's just my way of kind of getting things under control. And it's not easy. It's not something that I will have done in a day or a week. And it is something that I just am passionate about as well, though. And I'm just talking mainly about dealing with emotion, dealing with depression in general, and dealing with making yourself happy. And that's not something that I have ever been successful with. It's a very hard thing for me to embrace and very hard thing for me to actually experience properly because I just genuinely haven't felt it. And that may be strange for a lot of you that feel great multitudes of happiness and emotions and stuff like that, but it is true. I genuinely think that I struggle to find what is or is not quote-unquote happiness. I just am chasing it for most of my life, and I try my best to do things that will quote-unquote make me happy, bring me joy, but always still struggle with the actual, how do I stay happy? How do I be happy? And that is a very, very hard thing to not only explain to people, but to also try to figure out for yourself. And something that I truly have never, ever done a great job with either. Which is why I go more for the anonymity. Is that right? Anonymity prior to going to anyone that's like close to me and knows the actual struggles that I deal with on a daily basis. Does it help? I don't know. Hard to say. Can't say no, but I can't really say yes either. All I can know is that I try my best to make these things happen, to make it work, and to try to get that self-fulfilling nature that everyone else experiences. And to me, having never had this particular feeling, and, don't get me wrong, I do experience moments of joy, but I don't think I can ever fully express that I have been just blissfully happy, is more what I go for here. So I enjoy those moments that I get where I feel that sense of joy, where I am happy, just playing Minecraft, for example. It's a sense of joy. It tends to diminish the initial stresses of the world and to help you focus and stay away from the things that are negatively impacting you while also embracing the things that are giving positive experiences to the things that you're doing. That is one of the ways that I experience life, basically. I try my best to just stay happy as much as I can, but when I say happy, I don't actually mean happy. I mean, I try to stay content. I try to not let the emotions just crash over me. And I try not to get too visceral to the point where I am worried about everything. What I just try to do is take it one little tiny step at a time. And to me, each and every little moment of happiness is different than most people's happy, because I tend to cherish it a lot more than I think other people do. And I do this because when I get sad, I get intensely sad. When I get angry, I get intense. It's all intense emotions, though brief and usually random. Well, not random, but brief. I would more classify them as. It makes it very difficult to embrace things like that as well, because if you experience emotions in such an intense way, it's very hard to convey that to anyone else. Oh, why are you happy and then all of a sudden you're sad? You're smiling and then all of a sudden you're laughing like crazy. You know, like, why do these things coexist? And unless you have depression, unless you have some sort of mental, I'm not going to call it illness, mental disability. That doesn't work either. I don't like calling it an illness. Some kind of mental snap-haw. Let's go with that. It's just very hard to convey it, especially to people who do not have it. To people that do have it, you get it. You immediately get just the wide range of emotions that you go through. You get all of the different ways that we are able to feel and like the intense emotions behind them. And you kind of can get it. Yours might not be the exact same, obviously, if you do have it, because everyone experiences it in a different and wide range of emotions. It's not always just, oh, I'm sad, I'm going to sit here and do nothing, right? No. Sometimes I'm hyperactive, sometimes I'm running 1,000,000 miles an hour, sometimes I sit and focus on one thing to my detriment. It's all up in the air on like really what I do with it, but it's very, very hard to explain. I frequently talk with a friend who has anxiety. This person who has anxiety does not have depression, and me with depression does not have anxiety. And now I know there are people who have both. However, neither one of us, or both of us rather, find it very difficult to convey what we're going through to the other person because we just don't feel the same way. So it's very hard, even from like a therapist standpoint, it's very hard to embrace that same level, to get on the same exact track and try to express exactly what you're feeling. It's very, very difficult. Doesn't really work like that because, again, we all experience things so differently. They're coming at it from a clinical standpoint, and you are coming at it from, well, that doesn't make sense. And that's why I think it's invaluable to get many opinions. If your first opinion does not make sense, get another opinion. Your second opinion doesn't make sense, get a third opinion. You can get as many opinions as you would like until you find one that makes sense to you. And all of them obviously are going to be very, very different than the last. But my point, I think, is this in this case here. It's okay. If you have intense emotions that you experience, it's okay. It is okay to let them out. It's okay to worry about them. It's okay. This has taken me a long time, and it's probably going to be a long time even still from this point before I can fully fledgedly admit and identify what the problems are to be able to solve them in my own ways. However, I do think it is something that's important. I am one of those people who definitely holds everything in as much as humanly possible. I won't say a word. I will just indulge in it, I guess. I will just deal with it in my own ways. I won't say a single word about it until I am bursting at the seams. This is my way of trying to not burst at the seams, to express exactly what's going on in a well-mannered way. And obviously I did not script it because you can tell I am just talking flagrantly, randomly, and obviously it is not it's not scripted, because I could write something far better if we had gone that route. But I just want to say it's okay to feel emotion. It's okay to experience what you're doing. And it's okay to have those intense emotions of your body. Even if you're not able to explain it to anyone else, as long as you understand where it's coming from and just about what you need to do, or at least how to start, that's all I can ask for, really. So that is going to be it for today. Just needed to get a little bit off my chest, as sometimes I do. And if you are a long-time viewer of the channel, you know that sometimes and oftenly I will openly speak out about mental snafus, fog-like areas of depression, of mind and body not connecting on full turns. And I think it's just important to know. It really, truly is okay. Ciao, guys.